Hey everybody, it's Leeroy from Leeroy Gaming. It is Tuesday, June 22nd, and today, before we go live on twitch.tv/Leeroy Gaming stream for another stream, I have a new video out for you guys covering the brand new patch that just hit for Outriders. It's going to be covering the big news of the 100% increase in legendary drop chances, as well as other additions and fixes. We're going to cover everything in this video. Now, as with all my videos, I try to do my best to help you guys out navigate my videos, so do check the description below for timestamps to help you navigate. Hopefully you guys enjoy this content. If you do, as always, like, subscribe, and make sure to check out my stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Leeroy Gaming stream to interact with me as I game alongside my followers. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at everything included in this patch. Now, we're going to go ahead and begin right off the bat. The biggest headline here is legendary drop rates across the board increased by 100%. So this should impact just normal drop chances, as well as it should increase those drop chances at the end of the runs, the CT 15 runs, for example, that normally you get 4 chances at 25% chance of dropping legendary. Now that should be doubled to 50%. So statistically speaking, it should be much more likely that you're going to get definitely more than 1 legendary, definitely more than 0. You're going to see way more chances if you are getting gold times and CT15s. We're going to get 2, 3, or even 4 drops much more regularly, which should feel really good. But that is not all, boys. So another big thing here, and it's something that you will probably notice more if you're leveling up a new character and gearing up, is that legendary level brackets have been removed. What this really means is that there were certain items in the game previously that would only drop if you had a certain item level. They use an example here that Ugake Cowl could only drop from enemies level 48 or above. Now anything can drop at any level, so you're more likely to, get some of those rare drops a little earlier potentially. Also, this is something that I don't know how I feel about, and I'll go over it in just a second. Is the legendary anti-duplication system implemented? Let me read how this is worded, and then I'll tell you how it works in function in reality, and one problem I have with it. So hang tight with me, boys. So this system will mean that if a character has an item in their inventory or stash and a duplicate item is rolled, the dropped item will be rerolled once. Note that the system does not guarantee that every drop will be unique. Rather, it is designed to provide a second roll at avoiding a duplicate. Now, this is really good if you're trying to, for example, complete a set, an armor set, where you're missing that last piece. So like, for example, right now, on my Trickster, I'm still missing one of the legs off one of the sets, and that's literally all I'm missing. I have every other piece for every other set. So this will slightly increase, based off the anti-duplication system, the chance of that dropping. It's not going to be crazy dramatic, because remember, it only does 1 reroll. So if you get an item to quote unquote drop that you would normally have, it's going to reroll that 1 time. But then that second time, it could be anything, and it's not going to have any extra protections. Okay. Of course, then you're going to get that 100% increased chance to drop. So you have basically 2 chances anytime an item drops, if you have a lot of unique items already in your inventory or stash, to get that item you want. But here is the problem, and I will almost argue that this change is doing more harm than good. So let's say, for example, you are looking for a god roll, and this is mainly going to be an issue of a weapon. Okay, so let's say you have a death shield as an example. And you really want a god roll on it, but you have a death shield that's, let's say, 88k, but you're left to have 99k, right? 99.4k, which is the god roll. Well, if you have that weapon equipped, or even in your bank or your inventory, what's going to happen, if it rolls a death shield, it's going to re-roll it. So the only way to get another death shield is to get double lucky, have a double drop, which is going to be statistically very unlikely. So developers have provided us with the following tip, which I'm not a fan of. They basically tell you, hey, delete that item for it to drop again. Okay, that makes sense, but what if you need that item for your build? They're basically telling us to break the build and then just keep rolling until you get one that's optimal. That seems counterintuitive. It doesn't feel good. Basically, what I'm saying is I know they have good feelings in mind with this legendary anti-duplication system, but I think it's going to do more harm than good, unfortunately. I also think that just that 100% drop rate increase is enough. I don't want to get. I don't want to get. I'm worried I'll get flamed for saying this, but I might. And oh well. If I do, this may be almost too much, but I get it. They wanted to err on the side of caution and say, hey, we don't want to underbuff this because then everybody's going to rage. Let's be overly generous. And I get that. I guess if I had to choose a little over or under generous in the state that the game is in, be a little bit more generous, get people to come back, get them happy, even if they're going to kind of get their gear a little too fast for the developer's liking. And it may be not, that hunt may not feel as rewarding. But you know what? I'll take that. That's okay. But I would say get rid of this legendary anti-duplication system. If by chance the developers see my tiny little channel and video, I hope they take this to heart. I know I'm sure I'm not the only one of this sentiment. But I feel like especially the people that are trying to get God rules on weapons, this is going to be kind of frustrating for them. So that's what I got to say about that. Now let's look at some of the other changes. A scripted boss loot for Chrysalid Ugake are now able to drop all non-class specific legendary helmets. This change will improve the variety of items in the campaign. Previously, these bosses would only drop a selection of legendaries. The same pool was available in the demo, as well as the cannonball helmet. So this is interesting. By knowing this basically tells us that this is it's the only way to target farm legitly specific items. So if you were able to reference all the items that were dropped in the demo, plus the cannonball helmet, woohoo, you could technically target farm these. But now it's going to improve the variety. So, okay, I guess because it's all those non-class specific legend helmets. So that is good. That is a way that now if you want to farm those, now note these are, I want to point out because you can fight, spoiler alert, you can fight Ugake in a very specific challenge tier, a CT mission. So this is only for the campaign. And I know most people, once they go CT, they rarely go back. But if you are looking for a very specific helmet, I guess you could farm these. And remember, you can adjust to, for example, to go right before the final Ugake fight by just going to kind of your main selection screen, and you can actually change where in the story you are. So even if you finish the game, you can take it one step back and farm that final boss. So that is possible, and that's kind of the bonus of this. Now, the luck system has been improved, and players should no longer experience very long droughts without a legendary item dropped during endgame. So the base scaling of legendary dropped through higher difficult levels still applies. So you may still. These are notes. These are clearly copy and pasted from the previous notes last week because they had that same typo. Want to farm as high as possible. What is this? So there are other kind of games that have this kind of grind for loot, have this kind of mercy system implemented that if you go a certain amount of time without getting legendary, it will just force spawn something. So apparently this is added. Now, I do not know if this was already implemented in the game and they just increased the chance of this happening, or this is a brand new implementation. It's not clear. But either way, there should be no longer scenarios where you go like hours and hours without getting a legendary, hopefully. So those are the main bullet points, but they are not everything. So let's take a look at what else is in the patch notes. So with general patch notes for consoles only, added extra options and settings for controller customization, including dead zones, look sensitivity, acceleration, and legacy layouts. So more options is never bad. For Xbox, improved sign-in times. That's good. I know that's something that was a big complaint. Love to hear from some of you Xbox players if how significant these changes are. Do let me know in the comments below. Epic Store version. People use Epic Store? Really? Fixed an issue that was previously preventing the pre-order Hell's Ranger gear from unlocking as intended. For some reason, I didn't see millions of videos about this. Probably A, because those items are for the most part annoying as they spam all your inboxes and then you can't delete them. But technically, there is one gun that people, the AR that people like to level up, so that's pretty good. But yeah, apparently, if you're one of the 16 people that own this on Epic Store, well, that element is fixed. Made improvements through multiplayer connectivity. Let's hope so. Next time I'm going to be streaming this tomorrow, we will test that to its limits, I'm sure. Fixed an issue that was causing old inventory items to be marked as new. Oh my god, finally, boys! This annoys me to no end. When I'm on stream and we finish a run and I got to go see what's new, I always have to recheck all my items over and over again, and it just kills your time between runs. It's something that really adds up. So this is like, yay. This is a minor note, but to me, this is a major note. Fixed the bug that prevented players from running if they were stunned while using the Trickster Cyclone skill. Interesting. Fixed the bug that caused the Alpha Lurker enemies to be able to one-hit kill players under certain circumstances. Yeah, thank you. I noted this on one of my streams about a couple days after the patch came through that I noticed, you know what, these alphas are now becoming like the most dangerous enemies situationally. And I thought it was just something in my head, but apparently there was a bug there. Fixed the bug that caused the scrap grenade projectile to be blocked by dead enemies. So that's good. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like they fixed the issue where the mod could still be broken. So that's something they're still working on. Fixed the bug that caused weapon mod Ravenous Locust to not deal damage if used together with Weightless mod. Cool. I don't know who uses this actually, because Ravenous Locust is not very good the way it's kind of balanced right now. And generally, I never personally recommend using kind of like a crowd control or a defensive mod on a weapon, since there's only 2 mods there and you want to get as much DPS out of those mods as you can. That's just my opinion. But for those of you that picked this interesting combo, this creative combo, all the power to you. It works now. Mitigated an issue where players could get stuck in an animation after using gravity jump in multiplayer. This actually happened to me a lot on my Hulk Smash build on streams. And sometimes I would have to wait till the rest of the group would like transition to the next area to get unstuck. So this is kind of nice. And crash fixes. Cool. An extra note, we'll have more news on the second run of the appreciation package very soon. We'll deploy it when we've run a few more tests on it, hoping for it to be ready by Thursday, but we'll confirm this on the day. So awesome. More loots, free loots for people. So again, if you got that first appreciation package, you're going to get a second one. If you haven't logged in since that patch, make sure to log in so you get both of these. I don't know if you're going to get both if you don't log in until after this patch. So take advantage of it while you can. So that is everybody for everything for today, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed this feedback and notes. I will be back on Thursday with another update as soon as possible. And with that being said, thank you for watching me this far. If you have, hopefully you appreciate my content. You can like, subscribe, check me out again on my stream on twitch.tv/Leeroy Gaming Stream. Would love to see you there. This is Leeroy, and I will see you guys in the next video.